Hi, everyone. So, today I want to go over the June report of what's going on in Olympia Heights. So, every month I analyze the properties that have been sold here so I can better understand the market and give you better quality. So, what I'm looking here is very typical. You can see that there's a couple different sections in Olympia Heights. The biggest one that takes up the most land is Miller Heights. So this whole section here is Miller Heights. You also have the different waterfront properties. You have Blue Lake, Blue Bird Lake. This one down here doesn't have a name, but I call it Sun Valley Estates Lake because all the properties around it have the legal description of Sun Valley Estates. You have Lake Catalina. This section is 33155 north, just right behind La Carreta. And then this area over here that gets a lot of movement is called tropical estates. And what we're noticing is that most of the homes sold recently have been coming from this area. And the prices really range. We've had some $900,000 homes pop out of here, and we've had some $320,000 homes here. So this area has a lot of different movement, a lot of different types of homes, but we'll dive into more. The biggest section, which is Miller Heights, doesn't have as much movement. So most of these homes were developed around the same time, and they're pretty cookie cutter. So you can see that there's not as many home sales here in this area. But when you go back into this smaller section, so this section is half the size of Tropical Estates, it has a good amount of sales, and it usually does. There is this this area right next to Tropical Park does have a good amount of demand. So what I'm going to go is look into the statistics for this month, and I'm going to go here to make sure you guys see what I see because I like to to show you. So what we have here is we have the minimum, so the cheapest home that sold, the most expensive home that sold, and then the average. So I like to look at all this. And then if there's a lot of homes, so if you want to look, if you have to look at a year's range when there's about 100 properties sold, then you really want to take this median number into consideration. So for average, the average home sold is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with 1,700 square feet. Here's what's interesting: the amount they're asking for versus the amount if it's being sold for. It's not typically, there's typically a little bit of a discrepancy. And what we can see here is that that gap has really closed. So the sale price to list price ratio is almost a perfect one. So you can see here that the average that has been asked is 516, whereas the average sold is 513. So it's pretty close there. The days on market, how quickly the homes are selling, 29 days. It's pretty quickly. Some of the older homes or the homes that have been on the market for a while, or that they're asking too much, or that it has some kind of issues, will have 124. And then the quickest ones, the cheapest ones, 2 days on the market. So you can see that there's a big, vast um, discrepancy here in the range of that. So that's the first thing I look at, and then I go into the actual home. So I look at their, their square footage, what year it was built, does it have a garage, and what section was it, how big was the lot. So that way I can really compare them, and then I'll go in and look at the pictures. So that way we can see, okay, this one only has 5 pictures. This one sold for 610, and I'll do this just so I can go ahead and really provide the best value I can for you. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you ever need anything, feel free to reach out to me. I try to reach out to all my YouTube messages, videos, and yeah, leave a comment if there's anything else that you'd like to see. All right, until next time, Olympia Heights.